following is a presentation of TFNN. The Global Market Pulse with your host, John Logan. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, John Logan.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the show. Hope you had a good weekend. I worked as usual, but I hope you guys played some golf, went to the beach, did some cool things. TFNN playing the good music this morning. Rare Earth, 71. Man. I remember my older sister forced me to listen to that album. Very good album if you never heard it. Let's take a look at Get Ready. Get ready. Here we go. The theme of this morning, get ready. Here we go. S&P's up as usual. Nothing else to talk about. Let's take a look at gold really quick, and we're going to hit some currencies in a second. But, you know, gold is I normally don't like to see things kind of come down and kind of revisit areas like this, but I'm looking at this as a basing action on gold, and I'm looking at this 1315 with a little bit of noise as a chance to look at this from the long side and play defense below here. Got to give yourself a little room on gold, but I love how this is acting. I know we kind of have sold off a little bit here from the highs around 1380, but again, you know, when you're looking for a move up and to try to, you know, where to buy breakouts and where to buy support, when we started having this move, we had a little bit of disturbance along the way. I'm looking at this as a support area on gold. You get the same numbers within the scanner. By the way, we're working feverishly finally on getting out some alerts in the scanner. I've been promising that for a month or so, but they've actually got that worked out now. So hopefully you can ping when it happens real time, when levels are broken or high probability setups are approached. We're actually working on an HTML5 version too, if that means anything. That'll actually happen pretty quick. All right, so gold, that's the situation on gold. Let's hit the dollar. You know, we've had a pretty good run. We've had a good situation where we're able to play defense on long term below 95.76. Here's the dollar situation. There's that number right there. I've been longish the dollar. We reached a high last week of 97.58. Targets on this we talked about were around 98. I don't think this is over yet. But, you know, Hattie, if you're waking up this morning and like, wow, I didn't listen to you before, should I still get in this thing? There's really, when you're in a situation like this, the only way you've got to, and again, we're talking about playing defense here. The only way you've got a shot to play defense is, again, looking at the 240s. You've got a chance to play defense below 97.29, 97.30. We hit that this morning to the tick, pretty much, 97.30. I still think we're going to move higher, but again, that's where you got to play defense. And if we gravitate back down below there, I think you've just got to sit tight. Again, the longer-term play, I don't see any disturbance on the dollar moving north. There's really no new profiles attempting to appear. There's really not a lot of reasons to get out of the trade yet. Sometimes it's so hard to let a trade just breathe and do what it's supposed to based on your initial plan. I've got some friends that just can't stand to see profits on their screen. They have to take them immediately. But you always got to go back to that kind of automated system risk reward scenario, you know, 1.7 to 1, 2.3 to 1, and look at it that way. And sometimes you have, you know, you make your whole month in letting some of these things just develop. And as you look at this from a long-term standpoint, if you look at the dollar, hasn't given really any reason since it started basing around the 95 and change area to really look at this any other way than just kind of hang tight. All right, that's my 2 cents on that. Let's take a look at the notes. We looked at the S&Ps. They're up, as usual. The notes, this is a little concerning. But stepping back away from it, you know, where are rates still? As the market goes higher, the 10-year goes sideways. I still look at this as a long play, basing defense rent below 131, 31. Thought I was seeing things there. So again, still looking at this as a chance to play defense on the long side. And that's the way I'm looking at the notes. The situation on the euro, I want to hit that really quick. Going into our currency screen, this has kind of been the slow kind of water torture trade that I talked about not wanting to get shaken out of. I still think we can ultimately get below 109 on the currency. We're trading 109.82 right now. We've been a little bit lower this morning. But this is one of the reasons why. I mean, we just are in a situation where we broke down, and then I think the next leg down will be in order around 108.86 on the euro and possibly even lower. So I'm just trying not to get shaken out of the trade. If you've been watching the show, I've talked about being short the euro, being long in the money calls on a long-term basis, and just letting this thing fall apart when it happens. Some news event, BOJ comments this week, a couple of other things going on, could just ricochet this thing right through those 108.86 areas. Taking a look at the yen, been one of my favorite trades here to bounce up into the weekly unfair highs that we talked about, 107.71. It pretty much reached that neighborhood at least, 107.40, some change. Let's see, what is the exact number here? Last week we reached a high of 107.50. That's 107.71. So again, in a big move, you've got to be willing to look at noisy areas around those inflection points. The targets have been reached. Now you got to sit tight. So talked about levering off of this 101.33 up into that area. That was a number from the past. And right now, this is why you got to sit tight, because you're in no man's land on the daily. This is all within the scanner. I can go into the scanner and pull up these exact same numbers here. Forex section, EUR USD. I'm sorry. God dang it. We're looking at the wrong product. The Japanese yen. I was like, what in the world? So there's the new profile in force here. If you'll notice that 49 arrow point down, then you've got 10 arrow point up on the daily. So the long-term trend still, again, that's been the breakdown for a while, since the 120s. Let me make sure. Yeah, 122. I've not been a fan of being short this really, and there hadn't been a lot of reasons to get long, except a couple of different areas. We bounced into 110.40 before, but I think we're actually going to move higher on this, but you've got to be able to play defense. So we're going to walk through this a little bit more when we come back, folks.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile-based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. John takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. We're finishing up with the Japanese yen as I was rambling towards right before the break there. New profile up, and I'm a pretty big fan of just trying to buy the product. And right now, you either have to wait and buy above 107.5 in that general area, or 107. What was the number there? 107.70, excuse me. Or, in my opinion, wait till we have a pullback to 105.34. So that's kind of what we're looking at on the yen right now. I'm not a big fan of shorting this product. Never have been. I know we've had a pretty big slide here, but we've had some really good opportunities, like we talked about right before the show closed, off that 105.5. Joey Jong and I were talking about backing up the truck on that one, and trading it up into 110 and some change. Those are 500 pip trades, guys. And when they're met, and we obviously didn't close above there, then you kind of wait until the next time you have an opportunity to trade this from the long side. Again, fighting the trend, but again, I think this par area is a big deal. I don't think. Yes. I see somebody's talking about the heat. I'm assuming that's out in Vegas. I was joking earlier. I did try to play golf yesterday, and it was, the heat index was 105, even late in the day at like 4:30. Feels like a sauna out there. Humid, hot as I don't know what. I mean, you're looking at your arms, the water's just coming off. It's incredible. I don't know if it's good for you or bad for you. Can't drink beer in that weather. I know that. Here we go. Let's take a look at another currency. This is kind of cool, folks, because the British pound now, you've got a new weekly profile that's appeared this week. You were warned of that last week. So now you've got some defense that can be played around 130.19. Hope everybody's seeing that. This is our weekly view of the British pound. And for people out there who don't trade currencies, I totally get it. It can be super volatile. But when these currencies trend, they really trend. And you can kind of look at, I mean, this isn't this is not, this is kind of obviously a Brexit situation here in front of us. But when you have these big inflection points, they're usually things that you can play off of. And when, this particular stock, we're talking about trending, the new long-term trend sell point on this is going to be 136.81. But right now, I think you've got a chance to play defense for this thing to explore some of this fair auction up north. And again, this defense area is about 100 pips lower at this stage. But I like the way this is acted. This is our daily on the British pound. I like being able to play defense initially at 130.78. And I like the ability for this to trade moving up. All right, so let's see. AZN. Let's take a look at AZN. That's a request from the den here. Let me go to let me see if this server's got, I might have to switch to another server if this has got delayed. Well, here's the situation on AZN. 30.11. Obviously, a chance to play defense below there. It looks like we could head back up to 33. Those are just my initial cursory views on AZN. Okay, let's take a look at a couple other stocks that have been in the news as far as earnings. Let's take a look at SKX. Well, you know what? I was talking to a friend of mine. This is Skechers. This has obviously gotten clubbed. It's like, man, I'm not a big fan of trading before the announcement. But taking a consensus view and kind of interviewing people of all walks of life, it's not very interesting for a lot of people to trade after the earnings announcements. They actually want to be in before the earnings announcements and just roll the dice with a smaller amount of shares. And some people don't. They just swing it huge. But I stopped, when Kramer first came out, I was like, this is kind of cool. But he was getting people into these stocks like, John Deere. I remember people got clubbed in it. He told everybody to get long before the earnings, and then I think it gapped down 9 or 10 points on John Deere. And after that, I was just like, you know what? And he doesn't really mention it if he's wrong afterwards. He just kind of moves forward and tells a couple of jokes and thinks that, I don't know what he's thinking. But I'm not a huge fan of trading before these earnings announcements. This is a great example. This is one on my radar screen. Yeah, somebody's mentioning Kramer in the den there. That boy can get you into trouble, to put it mildly. So, kind of beware of what he says a lot, especially trading before these earnings announcements. If you want to gamble, and there's an argument to be made for having some risk in your portfolio. But again, this is a prime example of really not wanting to roll the dice before the earnings. There's SKX, Skechers. I mean, that's a major body blow when it comes to hanging on to these things. And again, over time, it's a 50-50 deal. You're probably going to be right half the time over time. But again, I'd rather try to avoid those types of things, me personally. But again, I was talking to my friend this weekend. He said, a lot of people don't. They want that. They want that risk. So that was kind of wild. Let's look at VFC. Again, these are some earnings-related stocks out there that you guys may be paying attention to. We're trading, it looks like 62.37 pre-market. We don't have any prints this morning. Sorry about that. Here's the situation where we left off on Friday. Now, the way I look at something like this is, the market has been climbing. I'm looking at something like this. It hasn't participated whatsoever. We're going to take a look at SWN in a second. I forgot about that. But, I'm looking at this from a relative strength standpoint now, and this is the kind of stock I really don't want to be in even after the earnings. So let's take a look at SWN. Before Tammy gets ballistic here. I'm just kidding. So, does this stock have earnings out? Tammy, maybe you can alert me to that before we start talking about it. I haven't really looked at this one. Guys, we'll be right back. We'll take a look at SWN.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Until recently, it was almost impossible for the average investor to hedge against currency risk in Europe or Japan. For a bold trade on Europe or Japan that protects against moves in currency, trade HEGE or HEGJ, 2 times currency hedged leveraged ETFs from Direction Investments. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. We're going to take a look at SWN, but first of all, we have to, before we start looking at it, we have to just kind of get an eye on crude here. Now, if you've been watching this show, I've talked about not really getting too excited about selling crude right now or buying it until we just get back above 45.66. And again, we closed above. Let me see where we're at this morning. We closed above 45.66 last week. Let me make sure of something here. Hold on, guys. Ouch. I'm on the wrong month here. Sorry, guys. Hold on. All right. We're taking a look at September. Sorry about that. Let me change something here. My fault. I'm not been terribly excited about buying or selling crude. Ah, dang it. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Get this screen straight here. All right. We're back in business. Okay. So taking a look at crude, I haven't been super excited about buying or selling crude. Obviously, crude's been kind of meandering down this morning. This is our daily on the September contract. So that being said, I mean, again, I know technically on the September contract, this looks, let me save this so it doesn't happen again. Technically, this looks like a little bit more damaging on the short side than on the long side. But that being said, and going back into the XLE, the XLE hasn't exactly been looking terribly bad. And we don't have any prints this morning. Crude may kind of drag this down. But again, here's the way the XLE looks. And then on the daily, here's the way it looks on the weekly. So, can a lot of these oil stocks just get dragged down on the mere fact that crude is selling off? Absolutely, they can. I like how the XLE is holding up. And if we get any rallies in crude, I think you've got again, all things considered, you've got a relative strength situation here with SWN and the XLE in general. It looks like that's a valid print on SWN at 1463. So, what's the good news here? The good news is you've got a stock that's been holding up. You've got the whole sector that seemingly is hanging in there. You got 1415. And again, I look at this stock, as you can see, when this stock is presented a profile below price action, it rallies. And we have a new profile. We kind of have to sit tight. Then we have support here, 1154. We've rallied off of that. We've kind of edged up and compressed against these unfair highs on the weekly. I like how the stock's acting, and you've got a defense area, in my opinion, from 1415 down to 1356. So I still look at this as more of a long-term play. This stock has really acted well and showed itself early a long time ago. But again, with crude selling off, I think some of these particular stocks show themselves and raise their hand. And this is one of those relative strength plays. And I think you still don't look at this as it's gone too high and it might be time to turn around and it's going to snap back. I think you got to take it for what it's worth. If that answers that question, Tammy. A couple other stocks we want to look at here. KMB, Kimberly-Clark. All right, so obviously a little bit of activity this morning. It looks like we're printing 133 at least down there. So we're kind of sitting on the lows of Thursday. Kimberly-Clark, let's just kind of go back in time here. This is going to be your massive support on Kimberly-Clark, 131.14. So that's kind of where we're sitting on Kimberly-Clark. 131 looks like where we're printing now. This particular server is not real time on the stock, so I may be a little behind here. So we're sitting at support on Kimberly-Clark right now on the weekly. 131.14 is weekly. I don't know about back the truck up area, but at least you've got a big area to lean on the weekly. Big numbers there. CMG. Oh my goodness. Missed earnings, but let's see here. 442. Let me see where we're at this morning here. About the same. All right, so Here's the long term on Chipotle. Broke stride last week, getting above 417. That's the first time that's happened in a while. What do you do with this now? Here's the daily on Chipotle. So, do you kind of walk into this and start buying it right now? I don't think you can do things like that. I think you've got to, if you kind of just kind of woke up and kind of missed this move up, now you've got to wait for more than likely a new daily profile to look at this. It's broken stride on the long term. And again, this is a pretty expensive stock. I'd hate for you to lose 10 or 15 points just because it needs to pull back to find support again. Schlumberger, SLB. Let's take a look at that one too. Looks like we're printing this morning, 81.51, that general area. Here's the weekly on Schlumberger. Again, a couple of these oil stocks, and we go into the scanner, we can kind of find these very quickly, going into the ETF section and going into the XLE. Seller dweller when it comes to the daily, but again, I mean, this market has just completely rallied hard. Schlumberger, again, one of the stocks that's been showing itself strong in this sector. There's the inflection points to pay attention to there. Taking a look at the weekly on Schlumberger, what do you do with this now if you're waking up and just kind of starting your day? You got support at 80.73. Any type of rallies in crude oil could drag a lot of these strong stocks higher. Again, it's not the most exciting situation, probably relative to trading things like Chipotle, but sometimes boring is good. Let's take a look at Amazon. All right, so here was kind of that 732 area that we talked about. Here's the 731 on the weekly M for highs. The daily M for lows were 732. So again, found support. We talked about, this stock has not gone too high. These are the power of the profiles here, especially when they line up like that. There's the 678 bounce. There's the close above. There's the retest. And we could move higher in Amazon, guys. 757 will be the initial target on it. We'll be right back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
This segment is brought to you by TFNN. Test drive all the newsletters for free at TFNN.com.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. And we're looking at PayPal right now. Just again, all earnings related situations. Just going to kind of recap here. How does PayPal stock ever go down? I mean, those guys have everybody by the PYPL. I know we spend a lot of money with them. Good Lord. So here's PayPal. Here's the situation now. Pre-market, it looks like we're trading 37.58. So again, you know, you've got some area to play defense on a long trade above 37.02. Stops below there. Big time stops have to be below 36.15 on PYPL. AT&T, let's take a look at this one. All right, so 42.90. It looks like we're printing this morning, or in that general area. So here's a long term on AT&T. This is the concerning situation here. Even though we're trading up a little bit, 43.33 unfair highs on the weekly. None of this fair auction is even remotely explored yet. You got to watch out for this. You got to watch out for this thing coming down. Again, we're trading a little bit down this morning, but you know, if this thing starts getting past the POC at 42.20, we could really start moving south here. And you know, the latest moves up in the market, this particular stock hasn't really exactly participated. I know it's a dividend play for a lot of folks, but keep that one on your radar screen. Even though we're in the stratosphere up here, I don't like the way this is acting, and I don't like the way the profiles is set up. Pandora. Do you guys listen to Pandora? Does anybody? Okay, so here's Pandora. And let me see where we're at this morning. Looks like we're printing around 12.28. All right, so again, on the long term, we kind of broke stride and got above profiles. This is support on Pandora now, 11.10. As we used it before, that's still going to be support. Broke above, came back and tested those numbers, as you can see. I just still look at YouTube and flip around on that thing with my favorites. Anyway, eBay, let's take a look at that one. Looks like we're printing 30.54. No mystery to anybody. This thing, obviously, the news blew through the 27.35. So now we're in the stratosphere up here. What do you do with this at this state? You know, there's just nothing to play defense against right now. I think you got to just leave this alone. If you miss the boat, don't think you got to clamor into it. There's always going to be the market's going to always be open, and this stock's not going to go out of business. So you have a chance to trade it later. Let's take a look at Humana. But there's nothing to play defense against on eBay, so that's why I'm personally staying away from it. So Looks like this morning we are not printing anything yet. The news is out on it. Here's Humana rallying right back up into that 179.25. Again, a stock that exactly hasn't participated. The XLV's been, let's just take a look at the XLV really quick. Let's go into the scanner. Some of these I'm throwing out because I get emails on them. Here's the healthcare sector on the intermediate, pretty much a sea of green to some degree, like most stocks out there. But if you take a look at Humana, this is one of the only stocks in the XLV that's trading below weekly profiles, and we just kind of snapped up into that weekly unfair low. So if you're looking for a trading opportunity, market's been climbing like crazy. This thing has kind of rallied back up into former support, now resistance, 179.25. You can play defense on the short side, in my opinion, above there for just a trading opportunity. I'm not, I don't think this is an investment grade stock right now. Qualcomm. Let's take a look at this one. Man. Wow. Okay, printing 61.15 this morning. Very similar to eBay and Chipotle for that matter. Not a lot to hang on to up here. Again, the train, the train kind of left on this one. Obviously, the earnings, there's nothing to really play defense against on this one. You don't even have anything on the 240s here. So, again, it's probably something to be left alone right now. General Motors. Man, can you believe how much a pickup truck costs these days? I went by and looked at I went to the Ford, Dodge, and Chevy GMC, looked around. You can pay $60,000 for a daggone pickup truck right now. It's just unbelievable. 31.49. Support on this on General Motors. I think you got better opportunities out there in General Motors. I don't really like it from a mental capital standpoint. Sometimes you have to devote mental capital to things too. You got to keep that in mind. Biogen. Okay, so 281.91 is going to be support on this. You got to sit tight on this one too. Obviously, an XLV stock poked its head above, had a weekly close above 281.91. That's going to be support on it now. That's the way you got to look, in my opinion, at Biogen. Let's take a look at Southwest. I used to fly this airlines all the time. I can't stand them now. It's actually expensive. And I'm going to tell you something that doesn't matter at all, but when you're upset and uncomfortable on an airplane, the last thing I want to hear and see is a stewardess making jokes that aren't funny. But that's a whole nother story. 40.41, unfair lows on the weekly. This thing caved in hard after missing. What do you do with it now? I don't think you got to buy this on sale at all. It's an underperformer, has been relatively weak. American Express, let's take a look at that one. I used to hate this specialist. Evil guy. Let's take a look at this one. 62.90. We closed above previous week. We kind of retested that. We could actually lurch higher on this. At least you got a chance to play defense, 62.90. I want to take a look at the XLF really quick. The XLF has rallied back up into unfair highs around 23.58. I don't think we've got a lot more upside left on this stock, or excuse me, on this ETF. So I'm looking at this. If we can get back down below 23.58, I'd be looking to trade this at least back down into 23. Guys, we're going to be right back. Take a look at a couple other earnings related stocks before you guys get going this morning.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of The Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Larry Pesavento, a 40-year veteran trader. He uses pattern recognition, Gartley's, butterflies, ABCs, and Fibonacci in order to trade these markets. Trade what you see. Next on TFNN.
Hi guys, welcome back to the show. We're going to take a look at the currencies one more time. Omitted the Aussie dollar before. And daggone it, let me get this restarted here. Here we go. Take a look at the Aussie dollar. Yeah, again, I'd like to see this thing get back above. Getting stopped out's a part of the game, guys. You guys know that. 74.81. I'd love to see it just get back above there. We had a close below. We've kind of retested. We actually could head lower here, so keep that in mind that that's possible. I'd just like to see it get back above 74.81. I know you're probably saying, well, God, why can't we buy it low and sell high instead of buying it higher? That's just the way I'm looking at it. You're kind of in a DMZ right now, a collection area down here between the weekly unfair lows around 74.81 and the daily unfair lows around 74.61. I think we talked about that last week. Could look at this as a collection area to get in a little early, but again, you got to be able to, with the noise factor, call it quits below 74.61. But again, the confirmation will be getting back above 74.81. I'm not a big fan of going short this instrument, so I'd just be passing on the short side. I mean, stepping back and looking at it, I really like the way it's acted in general. And let me just kind of put this into perspective on long term. It's gotten clubbed a little bit here, as you guys are aware. But again, I like how this thing has kind of edged up. I like how Navigator crossed above zero about the same time we were breaking out before. And I like how we've stayed above zero down below. And I think actually we can head higher. So again, I'm looking at it from long opportunity land when you can. While we're here, let's finish up with the Canadian dollar. Again, becoming devalued here as oil continues to go south a little bit. I don't know if the Canadian dollar is going to continue to get devalued, but the unfair highs on the weekly, this will be kind of the maximum selling point, 133.107 on the Canadian dollar. That will be the targets if you're trading it from the long side, but that would be what I'd be waiting for to short this again. I don't know if crude's going to continue to head south here. All right, so to finish up, let's take a look at the S&Ps. What are you looking at today? Not a lot of disturbances here on our, let me go back to the dashboard for a second. Not a lot of disturbances here in our breadth situation, very positive. Even the 60-minute finished relatively positive on Friday and continuing to look okay this morning. The longer this thing spins around up here, there's no profiles to play defense against. I can't buy it up here and I can't short it up here. So this is kind of a no trade on the S&Ps. Let's take a look at gold again to wrap up. I like how this thing is basing down here, 13.15 defense below there with a little bit of appetite for risk factored in. Beans, ouch. Got below that 10.15 area. I personally got stopped out of that one. So what do you got to lean on here? Here's our 240s. You got support at 971 on beans right now. Corn and wheat, a little bit of a rally there. Nothing to write home about. Man, the grains look unbelievable around here in the field. Guys, you've been great. Stay tuned for Larry and all the hosts on TFNN. We'll be back tomorrow.
Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
This is TFNN.